The music news for the streets, the music news for your beats, the news for the music stuff that you gonna need. We gon' talk about plugins, we gon' talk about gear. If it's news on this music, we gon' talk about it here. Let's go. Welcome to the music news for the streets. I'm your anchorman, SumnSumnSumn. Hit the keys. And in today's newscast, we have all kinds of exciting stories from 7 Freebies. We've got new plugins from Isotope and Mantra. But our top story today comes from United Plugins. It looked like they just dropped a brand new distortion plugin, and this thing is pretty fire. Let's go ahead and check it out. So as you see here, you can get Cyberdrive currently for $16 over at Plugin Boutique. I just brought you here first because I want to go through some of the stuff that it does before I demo it for you guys. So as you see here, it's got 64 different distortion types across 8 distinct categories. It's got analog simulations. They say you can shape and crush your sound, feedback like you've never heard before. Obviously I know a lot of this is what they're saying, but I just wanted to come here and talk about a few things. And it's got like different effects and different modules that you can mess with in this thing. So let's go ahead and hop into FL Studio and check this thing out. Let me go ahead and grab my headphones. So when you open up Cyberdrive, it is going to look like this. I basically have a demo beat here. It's just a little loop. So I'm going to play the loop real quick, and then I'm going to go through what I use Cyberdrive on so you guys can see what it sounds like on different things. So this is what the loop sounds like. All right, guys, so that's the little sample beat that I put together, or the little sample loop that I put together. So let's kind of go through this thing and talk about it a little bit. It's pretty cool because you have 3 different stages of distortion, which is pretty solid. And then when you click in here, you'll see all of the different distortion types that they have. So they have all kinds of classic, modern, shaping, pixelated, amplitude, pedal, doom, and freak. Maybe this is amplifier, I'm not sure. Just amp. So, pick one, bam, and then, you can do a bunch of stuff with that. So you can mix it in. You've got your drive controls here. You've got a high pass and a low pass filter right here. You can go through different modes. So you can go to a filter mode, or you can go through just a multi mode, which has 2 different kinds of clippers on there. And then you can also change the slope. So that's pretty solid down there. And then as you see, you can change the distortion types for all 3 of the different stages. So you can mix and match different distortions to get all kinds of crazy sounds, which is dope. You got your feedback down here. You can control that in multiple different ways. Of course, we're not going to be able to go into everything in this plugin because this isn't just a review on this. It's just what I'm reporting on today. But then as you see here down at the bottom, you got different controls too. So you've got like dynamics. So, you've got different things that you can use, from compressors to maximizers, gates, transient shapers, all kinds of different stuff. You've got tone right here. So if we turn this on and if we push tone, you've got different filter types right here, which is pretty solid. Then you've got another tone right here. You've also got motion. So with motion, you've got, chorus, flanger, ensemble, tremolo, phaser, wobble, all that other stuff, all right there. You've got profile. So this is different cabinets. You've got bass cabinets, you've got guitar cabinets, and you've got metal cabinets. And then over here, you've also got reverb. So, you've got a few different kind of reverbs. You've got a resonator, you've got delay and stuff like that right here. So it's pretty solid. And then another thing that's solid about this is down here at the bottom, you can rearrange the way that the effects are going. So you can change the effect chain and put it however you want to. So that's pretty solid too. What I'm going to do for you guys real quick is I'm just going to let you guys hear what it sounds like on different things. So we're going to go ahead and start obviously with the 808 because, we all love 808 with distortion on it. So this is what the 808 sounded like before I put the distortion on this thing. All right, and so then once I threw Cyberdrive on this, I got it to sound like this. So definitely pretty solid. Bunch of different presets in here too, as you can see. So they've got different categories from arcade to drums to an enhancer, to guitar, bass guitar, electric guitar, keys, synth bass, synth lead, all that other stuff. The preset I used was from a synth bass one. So we'll just go through a few presets so you guys can hear what it sounds like. Fam, is one of these presets named Wet Wipe? You gotta love the preset names in this one too. Chug Norris, Crunchy Biscuit, Hairy Dude, you know what I'm saying? Rubber Duck, Swamp Monster. Let's see what this Wet Wipe sounds like though. And then we'll listen to a few of the enhancers on this 808 too as well, just so you guys can hear what they sound like. That one's kind of fire. I think these are a lot of good presets. A lot of them, you know, I would recommend obviously dialing in the sound, so mixing in the distortion, how much you need, because some of them are aggressive. Beefcake. I love the preset names. I'm not gonna hold you. Hole of the Rat. We're gonna see what that sounds like. So obviously you can hear it sounds pretty good on that. You know, you can use it for all kinds of different stuff with bass. You can throw this thing on a piano if you want to. So this is what the piano sounded like without it on there. All right, so now once we get Cyberdrive on there, we can get that same piano to sound like this. So it gives it a lo-fi feel. There's also a randomizer button up here. You can hit that if you want to, but there's a few different keys that you can use here, or a few different presets you can go through for piano. All right, so I know a bunch of you guys are gonna wanna hear what it sounds like on a guitar, so I just have this guitar pulled up from Contact. I'm gonna leave the reverb on. The guitar sounds like this before you throw Cyberdrive on there. Let me go ahead and turn it up a little bit. You know how distortion makes everything sound. All right, so let's go ahead and turn this down a little bit. I don't wanna blow you guys' ears out. It's gonna get loud though. So now once I turn the Cyberdrive on there though, I can get it to sound like this. And so then as you're looking in here, there's a bunch of different presets for guitars. As you can see, you get a whole lot with this. So let's just go to something else at random. I Am Evil. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Pretty solid distortion plugin, in my opinion. It's only $16, so I'll definitely leave that link below in the description so you guys can check that out if you are interested in it. All right, guys, and up next, I've got 4 freebies for you guys. These all come from IK Multimedia. They are offering 4 different stop box effects for Amplitude. You can use it in Amplitude CS, the free version. So as we see here, IK Multimedia offers 4 free stop box effects for Amplitude 5 CS in September. So this is for a limited time only. You're going to get this X Bass, which is solid. It's basically modeled after their pedal, and X Time, which is a delay plugin that's modeled after one of their pedals as well. And then you get this decomp and you get this fuzzage. So again, I recommend getting this because if you just start collecting all these things, eventually you're going to get Amplitude for free. So 2 very solid plugins. I really like this space. I want to actually get that pedal, you know, not just the effect, but I got it. You know what I'm saying? Let's rate it. Let's try it. So I'll hop back into FL Studio, and then as you see here, I have them pulled up here. So all the effects are pulled up down here. Like with this, when you click on it, boom, then you can click on this, and it's got a bunch of different effects that you can mess with. So as you see here, you can go through all kinds of different reverb styles. You can mess with the time, the color, the modulation, all that stuff on these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off, I guess, we'll start off with the fuzz. I've turned off the amp, so you're just kind of hearing the pedals, because I just want to kind of let you hear what they sound like. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these two off real quick too as well. And then we'll just start right here with this fuzzage. So I'm going to push play. The guitar, you guys already heard the guitar earlier, but the guitar again sounds, let me turn it up. Sounds like this. All right, so boom, we've got this back up. Now, once we turn amplitude on, we can get it to sound like this with the fuzzage. All right, then we got this compressor right here. So I guess the compressor was on that whole time, but we'll turn it off and turn it back on. So you can hear it gave it a little bit of a boost. Now let's go ahead and turn this reverb on real quick. Again, I'm not a guitar player, guys, so I just want to demonstrate this stuff, though. I think this is a Fire plugin, though, or Fire effects. Now, what's solid about this reverb is since it is a stereo reverb, you can actually use this on more than just guitars. So you can use this on whatever it is that you want to use it on. But as you guys can see, you're going to get just a ton of different, presets. And then you're going to get a bunch of different reverb types and stuff like that. Just solid reverb plugin. And then you're also going to get this delay plugin as well. Boom. So we'll hit this edit button. And then as you can see, as I turn this on, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this fuzz off for just a moment. And so you can just hear what it sounds like without the fuzz on there. So a solid reverb, a solid delay plugin. I just want to go ahead and hit this reverb just one more time since I took off that fuzz, so you can kind of hear what the reverb sounds like a little more. Just a solid little bundle of plugins. Another one I'd recommend grabbing right there because it's free and you cannot beat that. And up next, guys, I've got another freebie for you guys today. I believe this one comes from Wave Alchemy. This one is called the Trias Player. When you open up Trias Player, it is going to look like this. This is basically a drum plugin that'll play some patterns for you. It also has different drums. I think they say it's got over 2,000 different samples. But you can basically play different patterns and you get all kinds of different control on this thing over each one of the layers. So all this you see here, all of the samples are going to have different layers. Like the perk's going to have different layers. The stick's going to have different layers, and you can edit all the layers. You can do a bunch of stuff with this. And so then down here, you see here, you've got a mixer for each one of the sounds. You've also got channel effects. So you've got control over EQ, compression. You've got shaper over here. You've got synth effects that you can use, so reverbs and delays, and then you also have master effects like EQ, compression, and maximizer that you can use down here. I'm just gonna push play, then I'm gonna go through some of the presets so you guys kind of hear what this thing sounds like, and these drums do, some of them sound really thick. Pause. So this one sounds like this. So pretty solid. Let's just go to the next one and see what it sounds like. Pretty dope. But then as you come here, look, you get all these different grooves that come with this built in. So that's nice. And then you can break them down in different categories. So you can go like hip hop. Let me go ahead and change the BPM before we get to this hip hop because it's not going to sound right. But if I was to play this right here. Yo, y'all ain't gonna tell me that was not hard. We're gonna go ahead and heart that one. And it tells you the BPM in which it should be at. So maybe I'll turn these down just a little bit more. Let's listen to just a couple more. But they've got all kinds of different genres. You know, you've got house, you've got lo-fi. So let's check out some of these house beats. I mean, you've got lo-fi over here. We'll play a couple of these. I don't know about that one. It's fun. It's funny. It says lo-fi, but they just sound like regular old boom bap beats to me. Then you got dance hall too. So with this player, you can also drag and drop your samples from the player into the DAW that you're using, and then you can change it for sounds, and then you can mess with the stuff and manipulate it as you want. So another one that's free. I recommend checking it out. Go grab it expeditiously. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. All right, guys, and the next story I have for you guys today comes from Mantra. I did a review on this plugin Pyramids just a couple of days ago, but I wanted to cover it on the news too because this thing is really solid. So if you're into making like ambient music or healing music or cinematic music, this might be something you want to check out because it's pretty solid. So when you open it up, it's going to look like this. It has an interactive GUI, so you can touch the GUI and move, and you'll see stuff moves around over here. I'm just going to kind of play this sample beat that I made so you guys can kind of hear just the beginning of it, so you can hear some of the sounds. All the melodic sounds and that perk sound all come from this plugin. So that's kind of a little sample beat I made. I'm not going to go too much in depth on this thing. I'll link the video in the description, and I'll link the video in the card in the corner. But this is definitely something I'd recommend checking out. Definitely would recommend double backing on that review and checking it out because you just get cool stuff with this. So I'm not sure what preset this was, but you can mess with this So you can hear right there how it's evolving, like the preset changes as you start messing with some of these controls here, which is very solid. And it's just got a bunch of good presets in here that are all for, like, you know, cinematic type music and stuff like that. So this is one I would definitely recommend checking out again. You see here, it's got just all kinds of different stuff that you can mess with. A lot of these pads are very solid. So let's check this one out real quick. Go to the next one and see what this one sounds like as well. So like if you're scoring movies or anything like that, this is definitely a very solid plugin for that. So this is one of the percussions. You see how much that changed by me just messing with some of these controls. Again, check out the review that I did the other day on this because I went into depth on a whole lot of these presets. Another solid plug I'd recommend checking out. And up next, guys, I've got another freebie for you guys today. This one comes from Somerville, and it is called Prototype Dusty Felt. So when you open up Dusty Felts, it is going to look like this. Let me go ahead and unmute this. It's going to be some static playing in the background because it's always got static playing when it's going. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys hear what some of these presets sound like. So I've just got a little melody pulled up and it sounds like this. So with this, you're going to get some controls over your wow, your flutter, and your dust. And then you come over here to noise and you can mess with the amplitude and the keys. I'm just going to go ahead and go through a few of the presets so you can hear what these presets sound like real quick. And as you see here, you can mess with like the dust on it. You can mess with the flutter, the wow, the saturation. So as you can see there, you can do a bunch with this little piano. If you're into lo-fi music and stuff like that, this is another one, you know, you can go check out. Again, it is free. All right, guys, the 7th free plugin that I have for you guys today comes from Modalix. This one's pretty cool because it's called Plugin Buddy. So as you look at this right here, it is a free VST3 plugin host. Why would you need that? Many people will ask. Well, if you're using Pro Tools and you want to use a plugin that is only VST3, you can host that plugin in this right here, which is solid, and this is free. So, you know, whatever plugin that you want, or if you're on like a MacBook and your MacBook's not recognizing like a VST3 that you have, you can host that plugin in here, and then you can use that plugin in whatever DAW. You know, if it's like Pro Tools, that only takes AAX, in this you can use it. So it's pretty solid. And then you can also build up chains. And then another thing that's cool about this plugin right here is that you can use this thing right here standalone. So like, let's say you're out gigging or something like that, and you want to run your sounds just straight through this without using a DAW, or you want to practice or whatever the case is, you can use this in order to practice or run your sounds through or whatever it is that you want to do. And you can set up different chains with this. So you can set up different chains that you have saved and memorized and all that other stuff. So very solid plugin. I can't demo it because I don't have, I mean, I could demo it, but I'm not going to demo it. You guys get the idea. This is pretty straightforward. It just is going to host your VST3s in software that VST3s aren't available. And the last story that I got for you guys today comes from iZotope. They just dropped a brand new smart saturation plugin called Plasma. As we see here, they say supercharge your sound. I have done a full review on this as well. I'll leave that linked in the description in case you want to check that out. So I'm not going to go too in depth on this thing because I get it that we're getting kind of long in the tooth on this video. But there is a 10-day free trial, so you can download it, check it out, test it if you want to. The thing about this is that it reads your incoming signal. So it's going to read your signal and then it's going to apply saturation to where it thinks that it needs to add a little bit of color to your sound. So this plugin is not going to be for everybody, but if you're getting your mixes down and you're wondering why there's something about it needs a little more color, this might be something you might want to check out. Again, there's a 10-day free trial, so I always recommend the 10-day free trial first. It's got a few different controls on it. So on this thing, it's got what they call flux saturator. Over here, you can split it from mid to sides. You can go stereo or you can go sustain and transient. It's got attack and release, and then it's got an overdrive button down here too as well. And then you can set this up to affect whatever part of your, whatever part of your frequency spectrum that you want it to affect. So with this, I'm just going to go ahead and play a few of their examples right here. So let's go ahead and play these drums, and I'm going to push before and then I'm going to push after, and you'll just see down here what I'm doing. So it's just adding a little bit of subtle saturation. It's not a whole lot. So it's not going to oversaturate it. It's not going to kill your mix. It's not going to do any of that. It's just adding a little bit. So let's go ahead and listen to it on another sound. So you can really hear it right there too. And then on the vocals. Am I too late for love? Am I too late for love? It just gives it a little bit of subtle saturation. Again, I'd recommend checking out the free trial because it is free for 10 days for you to check out. So that's what I got for you in today's newscast. Hopefully I can help you guys out. I recommend to everybody that you at least go get those IK Multimedia freebies because they are super solid. The Triads is pretty dope too. And then if you need Plugin Buddy, bam, that thing's there for you too. So there's a lot of good stuff here. Cyberdrive, I think that is a really solid distortion, especially for the $16. If you don't have something like Thermal, or if you don't have something like Fury by Heaviosity, or if you don't have, Discord, whatever, Cold Fire by Arturia. I'm fumbling, I'm stumbling, and I'm gonna leave that in the video. So make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Signing off as your anchor man, something. Hit the keys. Until next time, peace.
Some, hit the key.